Up to the number 3 weather event of the year across western and central Wyoming. It said it was going to be convective, and that was actually the tornado we had in Teton County on October 15th. Given the meteorological setup, a couple of things we look at here. Storm Prediction Center outlook for that day. See, we have a marginal risk here. This is east of the area. This is mainly from Colorado up toward the eastern portions of the state. Tornado touchdown right about in here. You can see general outlook for thunderstorms, but not expecting any kind of widespread severe weather here. And a couple of charts I want to show you. These are things we look at. This one's called the 500 millibar chart, about 18,000 feet above sea level. Good indication of how upper level systems are moving across the area. A couple of things stand out here if you look at this. Number one, you see this feature right here. I'll put an L on that. That's an upper level low, and that's moving toward the area. And notice these lines here. These are called height lines. Don't worry about what they indicate. Just look at them. They're tightly packed here. When you head out toward Wyoming, notice how they spread apart like this. That indicates upper level divergence. Basically, the weather is just the atmosphere's attempt to balance itself out. And when you have upper level divergence here, air is evacuated out the top, and air has to rush into the surface to replace it. It can't go into the ground, so what happens? It rises. If you have moisture in the atmosphere, you get clouds. In this case, you get thunderstorms. And one more thing we'll look at, this is a skew-T diagram. This is the information we get when we launch the weather balloons twice a day. This is the one closest to us. This is out of our office here. It measures three things, basically. It measures humidity, that's that line right there. Temperature, that's that line right there. And also the wind speed. These are these wind barbs right here. Now, a couple of things I want to show you here. Number one, pretty good jet stream over the area. That helps to amplify the thunderstorms a little bit. That's right about this level. Now, how you read these things, is basically when you see a triangle like that, it's 50 knots. That's about 55 miles per hour. Big lines are about 10 knots. It's about 11 miles per hour. That's about 5 miles per hour. So you look for the jet stream, that's the highest number. You can see 1, 2, that's 100, 110, 150 knots. So about 130 knot jet. That's decent for October. The other thing I want you to notice here is look at the lower levels down here. Notice how they're coming from the south. How you read these is the direction it's pointing toward, that's where the wind is coming from. So it's a southerly wind. They turn just a little bit more toward the southwest as you go up in the atmosphere. This is what's called directional shear. It's one of the things that helps get tornadoes going. Now, this isn't much shear at all. This is very small amounts of wind shear. You wouldn't put a tornado watch out on this by any means, but there is a little bit present there. As we look at the damage path, these taken from Teton County from their drone footage, you can see the swath of damage right here going across the Caribou Teton forest here. Rotate that about 90 degrees. And if you look very closely, I don't know how this is showing up here, but the trees are laying in different ways here, indicating some rotation. This has been a straight line wind gust. They would have all been laid down basically in the same direction. So as we summarize this, touchdown in the Caribou Targhee National Forest, not far from the Idaho border, about 2 miles from Alta, is rated EF1. Damage path is only about a mile, traveled about 125 yards, only on the ground for about 2 minutes, so not a long-lasting tornado by any means. Now, some people were hiking up in here on this day, and fire crews had to get called out to cut the trees out, but the good news on this was damage is only limited to the trees. There weren't any structures damaged here. However, it was notable for a couple of reasons here historically. Number one, it's just the third tornado recorded in Teton County history. We had the EF2, the touchdown, the day the Yellowstone flood back in June 12, 2022. And of course, the benchmark tornado, that was the EF4, the touchdown in Yellowstone Park in 1987. And one more thing, this is the most notable thing. It's only the second recorded tornado ever for Wyoming in October. And this is the latest tornado ever recorded in Wyoming, at least in recorded history. The latest before that was in 1969, October 7th. That occurred in Goshen County. Well, number 2 tomorrow. We'll head back to more of a widespread synoptic scale event here. And it happened pretty recently, too.